Ever wondered how to take care of a snake plant indoors? Well, you're in the right place. Today we're diving into the world of snake plants, these resilient beauties also known as Sansevieria. Hailing from the western and southern regions of Africa, these plants have made themselves at home in a range of climates, from the tropical paradises of Florida and Hawaii to the cozy corners of your living room. But don't let their exotic origins fool you. These plants are as adaptable as they come, thriving in various light conditions and temperatures. And there's a snake plant for everyone. With a lot of different varieties, each boasting a unique appearance, you're bound to find a snake plant that catches your eye. So, are you ready to learn the secrets of taking care of these resilient beauties? Stick around. Now, what does a snake plant need to thrive? You might be surprised. The snake plant, also known as Sansevieria, is a bit of a paradox in the plant world. It's a plant that thrives on neglect. Yes, you heard that right. Neglect is the name of the game here. And it starts with watering. These resilient plants require minimal watering. In fact, overwatering is one of the few surefire ways to harm them. It's a bit like that friend who only drinks fancy bottled water. Only in this case, less is more. Now let's talk about the snake plant's love for the limelight. No, they don't aspire to be movie stars, but they do prefer bright spaces. They're quite the sun worshippers, soaking up the rays and turning them into energy. However, they're not divas. If you don't have a spot bathed in sunlight, don't worry. These adaptable plants can survive in various light conditions. They're like that cool cousin who can fit in at any family gathering. Temperature-wise, snake plants are quite flexible. They can handle most temperatures, but they do have a preference for warmth. Think of them as the plant equivalent of that ant who always has a shawl handy, just in case there's a slight chill in the air. However, there are a couple of places where snake plants draw the line. Drafty windows and bathrooms are on their no-go list. So, if you were thinking of placing your snake plant next to a drafty window or in the bathroom to give it a tropical spa experience, think again. They prefer their environment a bit more stable and less, well, breezy and humid. Snake plants are indeed the epitome of low maintenance, aren't they? But there's more to know. Ever thought about repotting your snake plant, or wondered why its leaves look dull? Well, let's dive right into it. Repotting snake plants is not something you have to do often. These resilient greens are quite content in their pots. But if your snake plant is outgrowing its current home, or if the roots are peeking out of the drainage hole, it's time to consider a larger pot. When choosing a new pot, opt for one that's just a size bigger than the current one. Too big, and your plant could drown in excess moisture. Too small, and your snake plant will be feeling claustrophobic. And we definitely don't want that. Now let's talk compost. You can't just shovel some dirt from your backyard and call it a day. No sir. Snake plants prefer specialist compost, a type that's well-draining and fertile. This will give your plant a nutrition boost and ensure it doesn't sit in soggy soil. Moving on, have you ever noticed your snake plant's leaves looking a bit dull? That could be due to dust and debris buildup. Just like you would dust your furniture, your snake plants need a little cleaning too. Use a soft, damp cloth to gently wipe each leaf. This not only helps the plant look fresh and shiny but also allows it to breathe and photosynthesize more efficiently. And remember, it's not a race. Take your time, enjoy the process. It's a great way to connect with your plant, understand its needs, and ensure it's in the best of health. So that's how you keep your snake plant looking fresh and lively. But what about feeding it? Well, hold your horses. We'll get to that in the next scene. Stay tuned. Feeding a plant? Yes, you heard it right. You might be wondering, do plants need a cheeseburger and fries? Well, not exactly, but they do have their own version of a gourmet meal. Snake plants, like many other plants, enjoy a good feeding routine. But unlike some of your other houseplants, snake plants are low-maintenance diners. They don't require a 5-course meal every day. Instead, they thrive on a simple yet effective feeding routine. Here's the deal. Snake plants love a little liquid fertilizer, and when I say a little, I mean just that. Overfeeding can lead to a very unhappy plant. Too much of anything, even love, can be harmful, right? So, how often should you feed your snake plant? Ideally, once a month during the spring and summer months will do. Just like us, plants have active and dormant periods. Spring and summer are the active growing seasons for snake plants. That's when they're hungry for some extra nutrients. But why liquid fertilizer, you ask? Liquid fertilizers are easy for plants to absorb, providing them with a quick nutrient boost. It's like a power-packed smoothie for your snake plant, providing all the necessary nutrients in a form that's easily digestible. Now let's talk benefits. A well-fed snake plant is a happy snake plant. Feeding your snake plant with a balanced liquid fertilizer helps it grow strong and healthy. It enhances the plant's color, making those beautiful green leaves even more vibrant. Plus, a well-fed plant is more resilient, better equipped to deal with any potential pests or diseases. So, in essence, feeding your snake plant is like giving it a little TLC. It's a way to say, hey, I appreciate your oxygen-producing, air-purifying, decor-enhancing work. Here's a little something for your troubles. Now you know the snake plant's secret diet. But wait, is there a caution sign we should be aware of? Hold on to your gardening gloves because we're about to dive into that next. Snake plants are great, but there are a couple of things you should be careful about. Now don't get me wrong, snake plants are not your garden variety villains. They're not out to get you. But just like some of the best things in life, they come with a tiny caution label. You see, snake plants, as sturdy and resilient as they are, harbor a mild secret. They can be mildly toxic if ingested. I know you're probably not planning on having a snake plant salad for dinner. But it's something to keep in mind if you have curious kids or pets who might mistake these green wonders for a tasty treat. Now before you start worrying, let me tell you this. Snake plants are only mildly toxic. If ingested, they might cause some discomfort, nausea, or even a bit of a tummy upset. But they're not deadly. Nevertheless, it's better to be safe than sorry, right? So, it's a good idea to place your snake plant somewhere out of reach for the little ones and your furry friends. And if you're now wondering if your beloved snake plant is a ticking time bomb, let me remind you of something. There are many things we use and consume every day that can be harmful if misused or ingested in a wrong way. The trick is to use them responsibly and wisely. And the same goes for our green friend, the snake plant. So, remember, while snake plants are generally safe to have around, they're not for nibbling. Treat them with care, respect their space, and they'll reward you with their striking beauty and air-purifying qualities. So, that's the snake plant in a nutshell. Ready for a quick recap? We've sure learned a lot about snake plants today, haven't we? These low-maintenance, almost indestructible green companions, originally from Western and Southern Africa, have shown us that they are the epitome of resilience. They remind us that less is more, as they thrive on neglect and require minimal watering. In terms of light and temperature, snake plants are quite adaptable, but they do have a preference for bright spaces and warmth. With repotting, it's not a frequent necessity, but when the time comes, remember to use a larger nursery pot and specialist compost. Cleaning is a simple task of wiping the leaves occasionally to remove dust and debris, keeping them looking fresh and vibrant. As for feeding, a touch of liquid fertilizer once a month during spring and summer does the trick. However, it's essential to remember that snake plants can be mildly toxic if ingested, so let's keep them away from our children and furry friends. Thanks for joining me on this green journey. If you found this video helpful, share it with your fellow indoor gardeners, and don't forget to subscribe for more plant care tips. Until next time, happy gardening.